Mother thrust the arrow into my palm. Its gold tip caught the light, sharp as her spite. "Pierce her heart with this," she hissed. "Make her fall in love with a beast." She spoke of Psyche, a mortal girl whose beauty had emptied my mother's temples. The altars were cold. Dust gathered where offerings once burned. I looked at the gold, then back at the woman who demanded this cruelty. My wings beat once, twice, and I launched myself into the descent. The air grew thick as I dropped through the clouds toward the mortal city. Silence clung to my feathers. No wind whistled past. No birds sang. The city below was a smudge of gray stone and flickering hearth fires. I hit the rooftops, silent as a falling shadow, and tracked the scent of jasmine to a single open window. I slipped inside. She lay on the bed, her breathing slow and rhythmic in the dark. I pulled the bowstring taut. The tension hummed against my fingers. I took aim at the center of her chest, ready to unleash the poison. Then, my hand slipped. The bowstring snapped against my wrist, and the gold tip grazed my own thumb. A sting of fire raced through my veins, hot and invasive. I pulled my hand back, but the damage was done. I looked at her. Her presence filled the room, pulling the gravity of the world toward her. My bow dropped to the floor, clattering against the stone. I was a god, and I was falling. The air in the room seemed to shift, becoming heavy and electric. I tried to reach for the weapon, but my fingers would not obey. My focus remained locked on her. The divine detachment I had carried for eons evaporated, replaced by a sudden, terrifying need to remain near. I backed away, pressing my palms against the cool wall, but the heat of the arrow still pulsed in my blood. I looked at my own hands, then back at the girl. The mission was forgotten. The malice was gone. In its place, a new, jagged awareness took root. I had become the target of my own weapon. I needed a place where the world could not reach us. I built a mansion deep in the shadows, far from the reach of any map. No windows, no sunlight. It was a fortress of stone and silence. I came to her only when the stars were at their zenith. She could not see my face in the gloom. She reached out, her fingers tracing the line of my jaw, and she called me her monster. I let her. It was the only way to stay near without triggering the curse. But peace is a fragile thing. Her sisters came to the gates, their footsteps heavy on the stone. They did not enter, but they stood outside the walls and whispered through the cracks. "He is a serpent," they hissed into the dark. "He will devour you when you sleep." I watched from the rafters, my wings folded tight against my back. I saw her posture shift, her hands wringing the air. The comfort of our shared darkness was fracturing. Every night she grew more restless, her eyes searching the corners of the room for a truth I could not grant her. The sister's words took root in her mind, turning into a fever. One night, she moved with a new, sharp intent. She walked to the hearth, struck flint against steel, and ignited the wick of an oil lamp. The flame bloomed, a small, aggressive orange star in the suffocating black. She held it high, shielding the glow with her palm, and crept toward the bed where I lay. Every floorboard groaned under her weight, but she did not stop. The light cast long, dancing shadows that stretched across the walls like grasping fingers. She reached the bedside. I remained still, my breathing steady, forcing the illusion of deep sleep. She leaned forward. The lamp swung in an unsteady arc. The flame flickered, casting a frantic pulse of light across the room. She held the lamp directly over me, her knuckles white from the strain. The light spilled downward, catching the curve of my wing, the glint of my bow, and the sharp lines of my face. She stopped, her breath caught in her throat. The oil reservoir tilted. A single, heavy drop of burning liquid clung to the edge, ready to fall. The drop fell. It struck my shoulder and seared through the skin like a molten needle. I jerked upright, a guttural sound tearing from my throat. The lamp slipped from her hand, hit the stone floor, and shattered into 1,000 jagged pieces. Fire bloomed across the rugs, licking at the furniture. The pact was broken. The invisible walls of the mansion buckled and dissolved. I felt a violent, unnatural tug behind my ribs, a force far greater than my own will. My wings snapped open, wide and frantic, catching the air as they pulled me toward the rafters. I did not look back. I could not. I was a puppet of the curse, hauled upward into the night through the roof I had built to keep her safe. Below, the room was a blur of smoke and panic. Psyche lunged for me, her fingers scraping against the air, her voice rising in a jagged, desperate scream that cut through the wind. I reached the clouds, the cold night air biting at my burned shoulder, leaving her behind in the wreckage of our home. The task was her last. Psyche knelt in the dust, the box from the underworld held tight in her hands. She pried the lid open, expecting beauty, but only a thick, colorless vapor drifted out. She slumped forward, her chest still, her eyes fixed on nothing. The death sleep had claimed her. I watched from the highest peak of the clouds, the silence of the earth unbearable. I folded my wings and dove. The air whistled past my ears until I slammed into the ground beside her. I did not hesitate. I gathered her into my arms, the weight of her body heavy and cold. I pressed my lips to hers, a final, desperate act. My old scar, the mark of our broken pact, burned against her skin. A sharp gasp broke the stillness. Her eyelids fluttered and opened. She looked at me, her gaze clearing. I did not give her time to speak. I hauled her up, moving toward the gates of Olympus. I reached the throne room and knelt before Zeus. I held my sword at my side, my jaw set. "Grant her immortality," I commanded, the words echoing off the marble. "Or strike me down where I stand." Zeus exhaled, the sound like distant thunder, but he reached out and touched Psyche's forehead. A ripple of golden light washed over her, and she stood straight, her presence sharpening until she glowed with a new, divine permanence. Mother stood in the shadows of the hall, gripping the edge of a marble pillar until her knuckles turned white and a thin line of blood trickled down her chin. We left the judgment behind. Our home on Olympus is quiet, save for the sound of our daughter, Hedone. Her laughter rings through the halls, sharp and clear as a struck bell. Mother still paces the perimeter, casting glances that bite. But I do not look back. I have learned the movement of the arrow. It never flies toward the target you intend. It swerves, it misses, it strikes where it chooses. Love is not a weapon to be pointed or held. It is a jagged hole in your own chest that you learn to carry, a wound you eventually come to cherish. So, go ahead. Strike your match. Light your lamp. Peer into the dark corners of your own life. Just be careful not to drop the oil.
Like to honor the story. Subscribe to honor the channel. Bell to honor yourself. Comment anything epic or mythos. This is Epic Mythos Unveiled. Until next time, thanks for watching.